Hello everybody, welcome back to 539. So right now we are heading to another graveyard. I found this graveyard out in the middle of the Indiana countryside here, and it looks like it has some really interesting features to it. Might be a few little above ground crypts or family mausoleums potentially. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, so we're going to check it out. Either way, it looks like it's going to be a pretty epic location, fairly historic, maybe a mid to early 1800s, some of the graves here at least. So I'm hoping to find maybe some Civil War veterans, and over in the distance is actually a really cool drive-in movie theater. I don't know how well we'll be able to see it from here. So let's start right back here at what seems to be some of the more scattered headstones, and seemingly be the older section of this place. So this is a 1900s grave here. And directly in front of it, also an early 1900s, or actually two early 1900s graves. So right off the bat, I'm not really sure how old this place is going to be, but I'm seeing some things that look fairly old, especially here in the back. It's kind of looking like this is a Spanish-American War veteran marker here, which it indeed was. And that's pretty cool. So it looks like this is going to be a fairly interesting place, at least here. I'm not sure what we'll find, but we're going to continue on down this row here. And at the very middle here is what I can only assume to be above ground crypt. Some of these here have been affected by this gigantic bush. Let's see, some people are born in the 1800s and then passed in the mid to early 1900s. And you can kind of tell that the graves have moved, and potentially because of this hill here. And I don't know if the root system is potentially pushing against it, because it's growing this way and then pushing the dirt of the hill back. All kinds of grass clippings, which isn't a bad thing. It just means that it's being taken care of. I do see over this way a couple of these incredible, they're above ground crypts, but it's like they're right at the surface. I need to skip back a level here. That's the only thing I don't like, is when they don't clean this off. These are old enough that they may not even have living family members that still visit them. That's kind of sad. A very old and deteriorated grave. But things like that do happen. It almost sounds... Okay, that's actually some sort of farming truck there. I thought maybe they were back here mowing the grass still. Oh wow, that is incredible. Whoa. I don't really think that this is going to be unlocked, but yeah, well, oh wow, that's kind of interesting. So what they have done, that's not even a door. They have taken the metal door off and replaced it with a stone slab, but put the door handles and old lock onto it so that it still looks like it's enterable. I don't know, I might be wrong though. It actually does have, it seems like hinges at the bottom. So it's a little bit confusing because it looks like it might be able to be entered, but I'm pretty sure that's actually just being used to make it look like it's a door. I'm pretty sure this is actually a very, very elaborate ruse, and that those aren't doors at all. Will probably be almost impossible to look inside unless there are some sort of windows on the back, which is fairly typical, so you never know, we may find just that. This is absolutely epic, especially with the old wrought iron fence here. That really adds to the aesthetic appeal of these old mausoleums like this. However, unfortunately, as we can see, there are no stained glass windows on this particular structure, and so there's not going to be any glimpse of the interior side of it. Right next to it is another one of these ground level crypts that looks really cool, and it even looks like it's been updated at some point. Before I check out some of the other areas, I wanted to look at these that we passed by here. Some of them look new. That one is fairly old there. Couple rows up here, there's another ground level, actually pair of crypts. Actually though, let's look behind us. I wanted to look at this real quick. I just spotted it. Another beautifully covered, or colored, excuse me, metal stone here. Well, metal on top of stone, and a veteran of the Spanish-American War. And I love how some of them turn out sort of a lighter green color, and then others turn out to be a darker green color. That was really pretty neat. So that actually must have been the landscaping guy. It's kind of odd that they have those huge, what looks to be grain trucks. So here's another row that has been pretty damaged over the years. It appears to be the Marks family section. But despite all the destruction, it still looks pretty epic here in the fastly setting sun here. And another really cool family section right here that's been separated by a cement wall. And this actually has 0 names on it, or dates, as if it never was actually used. And what's very interesting about this one is you can see the various dates at the bottom, which appear to be related to military advancements in their career potentially, or conflicts. It looks like maybe they were years of service. come upon this above ground crypt here. There's really not going to be any interior view, but a pretty incredible structure. And from the symbology here, we can tell that they were a member of both the Oddfellows and the Masons. And then it appears that Mary here was also a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. But I'm not sure what this crescent moon symbol with the stars in it here at the bottom refers to, other than maybe the Shriners potentially. So if you know, please comment below. Again, a bit of a mishap with some branches here that have ended up falling into these headstones here, and it really hasn't done any damage, so it's not an incredible big deal. But I guess it goes to show you that no one place is perfect. There are always just going to be a few things here and there that get overlooked, and it is still pretty early in the season, so they may be coming back to finish up. Another really incredible looking one that seems to be pretty hard to read. Doesn't seem to be any legible writing here on the front. Nothing on the back either. And yet another example of these trees beginning to do a lot of damage to the headstones that they were innocently placed beside. There's even pieces in the center of the trunk there. But luckily this one is fairly easy to read, and so their memory will last for quite a while. Now we are coming up on the first ground level crypts that I was wanting to take a look at here. And there's been a lot of damage. These are definitely falling apart and sinking into the ground. And you can even begin to see into the interior vault below. And oddly, there's two different GAR markers indicating that there was a service in the Civil War here. Right next to it is a family with a very interesting last name. As you can tell, this is the Freeze family here. So every once in a while I find some interesting last names and like to share it with all of you guys. I'm going to try and walk up around the church here. It looks like there's some more veterans markers here. And if we don't spot anything too historic over here, we'll go ahead and call it a day. But it looks like there's some more veterans markers this way. Another really old one, but with an updated veteran marker showing that they fought in the First World War, and this would more than likely be their family section here, with one missing there in the middle. And the writing on this main memorial here seems to be so worn away that it's really not going to be possible to tell what's on it. It seems that it is a bit of a trend with stones of that style. I don't know if the engraving on them was not as deep as some of the other styles, but they seem to wear away quite quickly, with this one right next to it being, for the most part, completely legible. And what's even strange is that this one's cracked and fallen apart and has been put back together, but still the lettering survived. And behind the tree here, these have gotten incredibly lucky. I don't know how much thicker this trunk will really grow, and so they may have been spared the fate of a lot of these memorials here. And I love this old church with the bell tower here. I'm thinking it's also possible that originally it would have been a schoolhouse, or maybe even used as both a church and a school. This looks kind of cool up here. It's like a secret little row here, although you can see in between all of them. So it's not quite as cool once you get over here, but it still looks really beautiful. Looks like someone has actually paid to have these updated here. It looks like they left the original memorial here, and you can even see what would have been below the ground there. And I really like when they do that, because I feel like it preserves the history of the place, even though it's updating the memory of those individual people. Here we have what appears to be the final Woodman of the World memorial here in this particular graveyard. One of those places that has a lot of hidden surprises, a lot of really epic construction styles and artwork here. And even now that I'm just walking down this road talking to you guys, I'm seeing one of the false stone markers up here. There's another Civil War veteran and member of the Masons. And a completely metal and hollow memorial that is made to appear as if it's constructed out of stone. And continuing around the backside here, we can see even more names, as well as a previously laid GAR marker. Here's an interesting one here. This one lists a town I really haven't heard of. It's called Geo. I'm not sure if it's Geo, Indiana, or what it means. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a town that I don't know of, and it might even still exist, so let me know if you've heard of it. So I just wanted to show you this, guys. This is not what it appears, which is obvious when you look at the ages of the graves here. This is a restoration project that's in the works right now. You can see where they have dug out this section here, and they're probably going to pour it with cement and then move these memorials here over on the side back so that they are properly seated once again. For those of you that are interested in the restoration project and how that works, and it also explains why that gigantic truck was over here parked. But it's not very often that you get to see that side of things, and so being sort of in the middle of their job here, I wanted to catch it really quick, because probably within the next few days here to the next few weeks it's going to be completed 100%, and so we wouldn't really get to have a view of the process itself. So glad I actually pulled around here and stopped for a moment. And we also have this really amazing above ground crypt here. And even though I'm cutting this into the middle of the video here, I was actually about to leave and have my car on, but when I saw the hole in the ground, I had to get out and check it out. Well, everybody, I'd like to thank you for watching this episode on 539. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes that we're going to be doing. Starting next month, we are going to be doing up to 4 episodes a week, so make sure that you don't miss those. Also, check out my second channel over at youtube.com/mystery, M-I-S-T-O-R-Y, and I'll put the link on the screen here. And I will see you all in the next adventure. Bye, everybody.